The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappola and Mike Lamazzo.
Mikey boy.
Hey, Tom.
Mike, it has been an interesting morning.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, again, I know we posted something for our viewers and listeners. We're in Salem, New Hampshire, and evidently a mouse bit through the internet connection on Route 28 and shut down
Not only here, Tom. In Wyndham, I lost my internet this morning around 4:30. Came back on at 6, lasted a half an hour, and it disappeared.
Yeah, but see, the difference is there's a big difference between Salem, New Hampshire,
I know,
and Wyndham.
they forgot to put the cheese at the
Right,
end
and
of the belt
freaking Wyndham.
for the mouse.
Well, who the hell lives in Wyndham? No one lives in Wyndham, for Christ's sake. Come
Just
on.
hoping planes don't start dropping out.
Exactly.
You know?
So we had to record the show today. David, I think this is the first time people are watching a recorded show and not a live show, right?
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Probably is, so pretend it's live.
Yeah, no, it is. So you're watching it sometime today. We don't know when, but we're here. And we are thrilled. You are listening to the Sicilian Corner. Our guest, a good friend, who's, by the way,
Awesome.
looks pretty good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Feeling sexy.
Lost a few pounds.
Couple of pounds.
Yeah.
Chef Joe Gatto from from
Thank
scratch.
you for having me.
Yeah, we've got all
You're
kinds
the
of
best,
stuff.
kid. You're the best.
Joe's everybody knows Joe Gatto. You've got a TV show. You've got some best-selling books. You cook for some of the beautiful people
Like my wife.
in the state. So we're gonna chat with Joe. But just remember one thing. We're in the new Studio 21 videocast/podcast studio, part of the United Podcast Network. Please go onto YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Sicilian Corner. Click subscribe. There's a little looks like a balloon or something, like a blue thing.
Yeah.
Just click on it or swipe on it so you can subscribe. You can listen to us on Podbean.
Every week we're adding a couple of more, right?
Yeah. iHeartRadio.
Alexa.
iTunes.
Alexa, iTunes,
Yeah.
Spotify, Mike Lamazzo, what's that, Ham Radio?
The ham radio.
All that stuff. No, we've got all what else? What are some of the other things, Chrissy?
Well, also on Facebook, there's the, because they're always changing things on good old Facebook. So we want you to now go click the little bell. You'll see a little bell icon, and that will send you out reminders.
That's the secret.
Yep, there's a little bell on Facebook now. So you want to click that one because then you'll get reminders of when the show is going to go live.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
You know something, Joe? And I know you know this business. There's nothing like the best feeling I had was last Friday. You know, Ellen and I, and you've been to my house.
Of course.
You know, we're martini drinkers.
Oh, yeah.
So we have our cheese and crackers. Last week I had a little antipasto, and typically when we sit in the room that we ate dinner in,
Lovely room.
we usually listen to Pandora Dinner Jazz or something like that while we're having our cocktails, talking about the day. Last Friday, sat down, and I said, Alexa, play the Sicilian Corner.
Did you really?
Honest to God.
And it played it.
It was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah, a
You
lot
got
of
it
the
to
new
work?
Yeah, it worked.
No way.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We had to teach it.
And then,
David
you know
had
what else
to
I
teach
did?
them.
We listened to about half of it. Then I said, Alexa, play the Great American Collectibles Show. We listened to half of that.
Wow.
As you were
That's
eating
neat.
dinner?
No, as we were having our martinis.
I see.
Because Ellen is my biggest critic. She's our biggest critic. So instead of Ellen saying the show was great, she says, well, you could have done this better, or you could have done this better.
You repeated this word
Yeah,
3
exactly,
times.
exactly.
You know what it's like.
I
She
do.
does that. She
I
does.
do.
But anyways,
That's
welcome.
awesome.
We are so
I think
glad
I'm going to
have
do
you.
that for dinner tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. Joe, you first of all, you brought us some, a little. I said, Joe, don't come without food. He says, when do I ever come without food?
I can't go anywhere.
Why
without
don't you
food.
tell us, these look like just like bagels with, tell us what this is.
Well, these are the homemade bagels, which you can see on my Instagram at Chef Joe Gatto, right? You can see the process that we went through making them. So I made homemade bagels. Then this is cheddar cheese, egg scramble. But the jewel of the
jewel,
sandwich
the gem, the hidden
is
gem.
the bacon. Why? Well, bacon, right?
Yeah.
Bacon's awesome. But I made that bacon from scratch. It's maple chipotle bacon.
You didn't kill the pig.
Look, don't put it past me, but not this one. Okay.
What's the process? What's the
Yeah.
curing
Well,
process?
making bacon is really fun. Again, you can see it on my Instagram too. Making bacon's a process that's
Look at
really
the
fun.
two
right?
producers are salivating. You're going to get it. You guys are going to get it. Sit tight.
That's what the food should do,
Yeah.
right? You take a pork belly, right, where bacon comes from, and you have to put it through a curing process. This particular one I cured with, it's a maple chipotle bacon. So the base of it was the maple syrup. And chipotle, which, if you don't know what chipotle is,
Explain it to our listeners.
Right, it's a jalapeno that's been dried and packed in vinegar.
I thought it was a food chain.
Yeah, it could be too. If you
At the mall.
I almost had a good joke there, but I stayed away from it.
Well, you did good. You did good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And so it cures for 10 days. The key to it is pink salt, because what pink salt and regular salt do is it draws out the moisture, and it also dehydrates the microbes that create botulism.
Is
so you don't
the
kill
pink
someone.
salt the Himalayan sea salt?
No,
Oh, it's
no,
different.
no.
It's different.
This is a totally different one. This is salt that is a nitrite that helps, it makes sure that when you're smoking at a very low temperature for a long time, that you're not creating botulism to kill somebody.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you eat this one, you die.
Have you done
so that's
any-
why they made it pink.
Have you done any drying using Himalayan salt brick, the squares?
Yeah, we've done a little of that. We've actually cooked on it, like cooked salmon and things like
oh,
that.
you can heat it to 500 degrees.
Yeah.
Put it right in your kitchen table. When you have company over, get some shrimp.
It looks really cool.
Oh, it
and
looks cool as hell.
it's neat. My son dropped mine.
But as far as curing,
Curing is
it takes what would take 75 days for a steakhouse, Tommy. You can cure it and get the same results in 30, and you don't have the shrink factor. When you cure it for a long time,
again, I'm not joking on that one.
the black, you have to cut it and trim it off.
Right.
And you throw it away.
When you're dry
cutting
aging
off-
steaks.
You're cutting off the loin. You're
Well-
throwing money in the basket.
Oh, really?
That's a different process than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Mine is it's like a wet, dry rub that goes on it, and then it's bagged, and then you're putting it in the fridge, and you're flipping it once every day for 10 days, 7 to 10 days.
Oh, okay.
And then you're washing that off, and then you're smoking it. So the cure draws out all the moisture, and it's giving it flavor. And that pink salt, not only does it give it the tanginess, it's also giving it that classic pink hue that you see in charcuterie.
Yeah.
Dave,
I just
Joe,
had a charcuterie board the other day.
There's nothing better.
At Fratelli's up at the Encore.
That is like,
To me, to start off, Tommy likes his martinis. I do too.
Yeah.
You give me a martini and a real good charcuterie board. That's a meal.
I mean, I wouldn't even eat dinner
Hot
like
bread,
that to me.
Hot bread
with
some
their like
cured
really good
olives.
mustard.
And they brought
cured
over
olives.
a dish of roasted garlic.
Oh, come on.
You spread it on that hot. Yeah, that's the most fun you could have with your clothes on.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
I mean, you
Goes
could always
without
incorporate
I'm
it. You know?
serious.
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
that's
I've
a
got
I
good
believe
time.
you.
did you make the bagels from
Yeah, the
scratch?
bagels are really easy. I make those with my kids all the time. They're very easy, just like any dough. It's just yeast-based. And the cool thing about bagels, as opposed to like pizza dough, pizza dough we make, and I teach that all the time, and that's actually in my book. A pizza dough, you're using it 24 or 48 hours after. We use ours a lot right after. But this one, when you make the bagel, you're boiling it. And you boil the
Just like
bagel.
New York.
Right. So you get
York
that
bagel.
texture. And then you bake it. So you get that beautiful texture that you're always looking for, that like kind of crispy outside and that chewiness that you're always looking for.
Tell our listeners how long it took to make that
As a
bagel.
matter of fact,
from
move
begin-
that one over here,
beginning
Mike,
to
so I
end.
can hand this
I mean,
off
the bagels,
to these
Yeah,
two
the
people.
including rise time. I mean, including rise time, it's just a couple hours. But actual work,
Yeah.
you're talking like 20 minutes.
Bye-bye, bagels.
I mean, it's always the rise, because you're making the dough, then it's rising, then you're punching it down, then you're dividing, then it's
How do you
rising
know when
again.
it's ready, though?
I mean, now it's just, because I've done it
Now
a
you've done
thousand
it so
times.
long. I mean, for an average
but,
person?
it's usually when it's doubled in size.
Okay.
That's a great
good
thing.
rule of
And when
thumb.
you're putting it in the bowl, always oil your bowl. Put a damp towel or plastic wrap. I prefer plastic wrap because it traps it in the air more. And then put it someplace that's warm, and the yeast activates because the yeast needs to eat the
yeast is
sugars.
important.
And a lot of problems I find that people have when they're baking is their yeast has been in their cupboard, 2 years, and it's dead.
It's not live, yeah.
And that's a live culture. So all of a sudden they can't figure out what they're doing wrong with the grandmother's bread recipe, and it's just because you don't bake so much. So always buy your yeast, just as you're going to make
Good
bread
to know.
by
See,
that day.
actually, that's a very good piece of advice, because I know we have yeast in our pantry. We've had this since 1964, probably,
Right. Yep, that's exactly what happens.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. We are chatting with Chef Joe Gatto. We've got a lot to talk about today. So, Joe, you made this from scratch.
Yeah.
No one's watching us. Let's talk, honestly with each other.
Yeah.
You don't cook from scratch every night for your family, do you?
I do.
Do you really?
I have forever. Yeah, you can ask my wife, my kids.
So, what time do you start cooking? 10 o'clock in the morning?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm cooking every day because of my clients.
Yeah.
Private chef clients. But, cooking for me, it's just ingrained. It's part of me. It's part of what I do every day.
So you're a concierge chef? Concierge chef?
No, I'm a private chef. So I cook everyone, like my clients, and I've cooked everyone from, like Boston Celtics players,
That's what I
Red
mean.
Sox players.
You're high-end.
Yeah,
I told you.
Just
He just
kinda,
cooks for the
That's why I
beautiful
said
people.
concierge.
Just the beautiful people.
It just kind of came. It just started happening that way. I don't know. My reputation got out there, and I just started getting calls.
Well, I got to tell you. I got to tell you something.
Thank you.
Last year for our 20th anniversary, Mike, I know you know this. I called Joey up.
Yeah. We talked about this on the air before.
I said, Joe, it's our 20th anniversary. I would love you to come to my house and cook dinner for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a fun night.
That was an awesome night.
Right?
That was a super fun night. We had so
it
many
been
laughs.
more fun if you would have invited Mike and Barbara.
No, it was just the two of us.
That's what I'm saying, you cheap mother.
It was my anniversary, you moron.
I'm here to share it with
No,
you.
I don't want to share with anybody except my wife and Joe. But anyway, I allowed him. You even, as you were cooking, I made you a nice martini.
You absolutely did.
And
it was delicious.
He served us a wonderful dinner. And it was great. It was a great night.
That was a fun night.
That really was.
We did fillets and everything.
We
that
did.
night.
And he didn't. I said, what do you need? He says, you don't need anything. I'll bring everything. And he brought everything. He brought everything.
Food processors, everything.
Everything. So don't even take out any utensils.
You must have help, I would imagine, right? To a certain degree.
Depending on what I'm doing, yeah. But like for my clients, I do it all myself. I was
going to say,
I'm very
if you needed help, it's
particular.
pretty difficult today. Because most of the restaurants, the biggest complaint they get is
help.
You can't get help.
I know.
I have one sous chef, Phil, who's been with me for going on 12 years.
Give him a shout out.
And yeah, Phil,
you're the awesome
Phil Jolines
dude.
is my
You're the
man.
big A.
I mean, he's always there.
Who's the man?
Does he work for you full time?
He does a lot of work for me because he does all the events for me. He does all my classes with me. And he's the only guy I trust in the kitchen to do it the way I do it.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
Which is really difficult to find because I'm super particular. And, if we're doing even events for 300-400 people, we're making 600 tortillas from scratch.
I make
them all.
I was going to say, you do events.
I'm doing one next week in the Seaport. I'm partnered with a lot of the hotels out there, and I do their big party. I do classes for them, and then I started doing events for them, and they had never had anyone that made I make everything from scratch, even for those parties.
So, but when you do a party that big, you must have a crew that.
Just me and Phil.
Wow.
And we start 2 days earlier. And I just have a system of where I can prep everything to where we're cooking live on site and everything's being put
amazing.
together.
That is
It's not easy
at all.
but it's something I really enjoy. Yeah, it's a ton of work, but when I see people reacting to that food and I see how much people are enjoying it and how it blows people away, that means the world to me.
What would you consider to be your specialty? I mean, do you have one item that
I really like doing Mexican.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, you had. Yes, I remember we talked
I do a
about
lot of Mexican. We were actually, my wife and I were just in Mexico. We just bought a place in Tulum.
Okay.
And we were just down in Tulum, and we went and experienced all the food there. I ended up just becoming friends with a lot of chefs down there, and they were sharing their grandmother's recipes with me. It was the best food experience I've ever had in my life, hands down.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question because...
How are those bagels, guys?
Oh my God, they're so good.
Really good.
so good.
Did your mother ever tell you not to
Amazing.
talk with your mouth?
Well, don't ask me a question you don't want to know.
You know, there are Mexican restaurants and there are Mexican restaurants. Now, do you frequent Mexican restaurants every once in a while just to take your wife out? And the reason I'm asking, because there's one in Lawrence. I've eaten at a million Mexican restaurants.
You're talking Azteca?
Well, it's fantastic.
They've been consistent. See, that's the key.
It's called Azteca.
Any kind of a restaurant that you go in, whatever they specialize, whether it's a steakhouse, it's consistency. And that's a hard thing to
But
get.
you know, they're closing, they're shutting down.
100%.
They're shutting down and they're relocating to somewhere here in Salem, New Hampshire.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they lost
Interesting.
their lease. They've been there 20 years.
Yeah,
What a
easy.
fabulous restaurant. But, Joe,
You know, just as a side note, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when we had Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, we did the show in the Common.
is that what they ate?
That's where I took them
Azteca.
over to eat. That was the day before. And they went over there to eat, and they loved it. He says, this is one
It
of the
really is
best.
good. It was really
That's
good.
awesome.
That's why I wanted you
Frankie
to.
Valley?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We are chatting with Chef Joe Gatto.
I'm going to tell you just a side note to that. Picked him up at the Lawrence Airport because he flew in later. And he couldn't come in with the guys in Boston. So I drove over to North Andover, picked him up, Tommy. Brought him over to the senior citizens. We have rooms that we set aside for the entertainers.
Sure.
And he's carrying this case. And I brought him into the room, and I says, this is your room. Nobody will come in here. I got the sign up on the door. He says, okay. So he puts the case on top of the table, and he opens it up, and it's all kinds of cosmetics on the first drawer. Then he opens it secondly, and it's all kinds of brushes and stuff like that. And the third was more I never seen so many cosmetics in my life.
No
the guy
way.
had more stuff. It was amazing.
he's
it was
no
this
spring
big,
chicken.
3 shelves.
How
all
old
the way.
is he now?
85.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 85 now. 85 or 86.
God bless
I
him.
think he's 86. That's what I was just going to say.
And he's still performing.
Yeah.
He's still. I mean, he doesn't. He
That's
doesn't have.
crazy.
Doesn't have the
He's
chops
still
anymore.
performing
Right,
because
right.
of a divorce.
But he doesn't have the chops anymore either.
You know, the woman grabbed him right by the short hairs, and that's it. Forget about it.
Even
You're gone.
Frankie
You're
Valli.
gone. You work for nothing.
All right, let's get back to Joe. Let's talk about your private events. People want to hire you.
Yeah.
They call you up. You can do dinner for 2, or you can do dinner for 20, and you will go to their home.
Yeah, and the fun thing is mine's never just we show up with a whole bunch of stuff already made and we serve it to you. It's an experience and it's customized to you. So I don't have like 4 menus to choose from. It's just like I talk to you.
Right.
What do you like? What do you want?
Yeah.
And then we'll build that for you, and then I'll do most of it live. And just like this, I'll be walking you through it if you want. If someone wants to get up and make a tortilla with me, absolutely, that's 100%.
See,
that's
the
what I
fun-
love.
That
the
is a fun part.
Right, because the kitchen is the heart of the house for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It's where you share. It's where you embrace, where like family comes together, friends can. Everyone, when they come to my house, they're always in the kitchen.
How about seafood outside? Lobster dinner. Do you get involved in that? Or?
We did a big from scratch lobster bake on my show.
I
that
saw
was
that.
season
I saw
1.
that.
So we've done
I saw
lobster bakes.
I saw the clams and you were
So
digging
fun.
everything fresh.
The clam bakes are really fun, and that's something we do during the summer. The only thing we've ever run into for that is people want to do one and you have to have the property. You have to own the beach property. You can't just go on a public beach and dig a
And
hole.
have one.
But other than that, yeah, we do seafood outside. We do everything.
But a lobster bake you couldn't do in somebody's backyard. I guess that's
you can.
my question.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've done it. We did one for a different TV show I was doing where I did a clam bake outside in the middle of December for a Christmas tree lighting.
I love
As
it.
a challenge.
Wow.
And it came out bomb.
No kidding.
I converted a fire pit, and it worked because it's all. I mean,
And
for
it
me,
was-
it never scares me because all it is fire and temperature, right? No matter how I'm achieving it.
Yeah.
I know what the fire needs to be. I know what the temp needs to be, so I can cook anything.
But the mindset is boiled lobster dinner should
Right.
be in good weather.
100.
And then
That's what you
have-
think.
Oh, that's totally rad, man.
It
I
was
love that.
It was
I love
super
that.
fun. We were right in the middle of Stoneham. We had like all the Boys and Girls Club there. They were cheering us on.
Oh,
I'm in
Jesus.
gloves and hat.
Tom,
it was
that's
awesome.
good.
That's cool.
It was really fun.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We are chatting with Chef Joe Gatto. When we come back, we're going to talk about your classes because I know you have classes.
Yeah.
Want to talk about the TV show. We got to talk about the book. and we're going to talk about some of the professional athletes, if that's okay.
Yes, sure.
And guess what else we're going to talk about?
What's that?
Collecting. Collecting. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine is pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State inspection station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back. Mikey, what happened to the bagel?
I thought you took it. David, did you take that other bagel?
Where's the other bagel?
I don't know what happened to it.
Chrissy?
We got a bagel.
Definitely me. That was amazing.
At least she's honest.
I mean, it was like Cress. I mean, all of a sudden, poof,
bang.
Thought it might have been that mouse that bit the cable.
Probably. Called the Lamazzo mouse. Hey, by the way, Mikey, you are looking a little portly these days.
Thank you.
Just want to.
By portly, you mean handsome,
Wow.
right?
I like Why would you even come out with.
Because I'm looking at you. Maybe it's the sweater.
Whatever you think. My goal in life is to look half as good as you.
Thank you, Joey. Right?
I'm staying out of this one.
Joe,
I'm
come
just
on.
in the
Seriously,
middle.
look at this face.
Because you're I look at
No,
you.
seriously, Joe.
That's like picking one of my kids. I can't do it.
All right, listen. Let's talk about the classes first.
Sure.
I want to have Chrissy wants to have a cooking class at
Okay.
her house.
Yeah.
How do you? What does she have to do?
Hit me on Instagram. Get my email at Instagram at Chef Joe Gatto. And next thing you know, you're emailing me and we're talking. And you say, I want to do a pasta class. I say, that sounds great. How many people? You tell me 10 people. We talk about what time, what day. You lock me down. We go through the pricing. And then I'm there and we're making fettuccine by hand. We're making raviolis by hand. We're making, you name it. We're making everything by hand. I'm showing you how to make my pistachio basil pesto. Then I'm feeding everybody. You guys get to sit down family style, eat all this wonderful food you just helped make. I clean up, I'm out of there, and you guys are happy, clapping.
All right, so listen, I'm
bellies.
gonna ask our audience right now, and you can. I know we're recording the show, but you can message us, on your comments when you're watching the show. Would you like Mike and I and the Sicilian Corner to have a cooking class featuring Chef Joe Gatto right here at the Studio 21 Podcast Center? You let us know, and
Yes.
maybe we'll do it.
Do I get a vote?
No, you're out.
Do I get a vote?
You're out. You're out.
I vote yes.
Yes. All right.
See?
Producers on my
You
side.
have one yes.
And you have to make
two yeses.
the pistachio basil pesto
Didn't
because
that
I need
sound-
to know how
Done
to do
deal.
this.
That's how I got my
sounded
wife.
Wonderful.
Oh my goodness!
I
love a proper.
Do you
good
ever get into
pesto.
like good Sicilian food, like pig's feet and tripe and things like that?
Nah.
There's that tripe again.
No,
I
okay.
can't wait.
I have
Oh.
3 kids
Yeah, I'm
at home,
sure.
right? 3, 8, and 11. Hey, kids.
We're having
We're
tripe.
not going to make pasta. We're going to make pig's feet. How's that? Who wants to jump in on this?
That's a good point. Very good point. All right. This book came out several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I still, we use it. It's a great book. It's called Seriously from Scratch, How to Cook the Most Delicious Food Ever by Making Every Single Component Yourself. Now, by every single component yourself, you're really meaning every single component yourself.
Yeah.
Everything here is made from scratch.
Yeah, if you're making pizza, we're pulling fresh mozz, we're doing, we go all the way with everything. And I love that part of it. We just had a fun little story. We just got flown down to Austin, me and the family, because I just got the front cover of this magazine called Private Client. So they flew us down to Austin.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was great. It's awesome for me, and I'm psyched, but I love that they always let me take my family everywhere.
Sure.
So I go down with the whole fam. We're doing a big experience dinner. That's the whole thing. And I'm cooking. I'm making Mexican. We're doing pulled chicken tacos. I'm showing how to do pico de gallo. It's just, there's a lot of people there, and I'm just getting busy, doing a lot, teaching. So both my kids are there. All 3 of them. But I grabbed my 8 and 11-year-old, and I'm like, Benjamin, Cassie, I was like, can you guys start making tortillas? They're like, yeah. Next thing you know, they've got dough. They're rolling it out. They've got the pans heating up, and they're
crazy.
They're flipping them
Awesome.
with their fingers. The photographers there are like, no one can believe what's happening. I don't think twice about it because I'm so used to, if they want something, I'm like, make it. We want chocolate chip cookies. Make it. You know how to do it from scratch. You don't need me. And some stuff we make together because we love to, but watching them turning around in the middle of teaching all these people and seeing my 2 kids laughing as they're throwing stuff with their fingers.
Hot oil.
I was like, this to me is what I did this for. This is why I'm a chef. It's great to make food. It's great to have a TV show. It's great to come on amazing podcasts. But seeing my kids and cooking with them in the kitchen, call me complete. That's what
That's good.
The name of our show, Joey, is the Sicilian Corner. And you haven't mentioned any Italian dishes that you really specialize in.
Well, I just talked about pasta.
You did about pasta, but what like an entree, what's your specialty? Would you use chicken or would you use veal?
We do a lot of chicken. Chicken parm's a big one at our house that the kids like.
I like it better than veal.
Yeah, I've never been the biggest veal guy. To be honest, I've never.
I have
been
a hard
huge
time
veal
seeing
guy.
them process the veal. So
can we move on from that, please?
That kind of swung me around.
I'm
not talking to you.
I cringe. I cringe when you talk about
cringe
that
this.
stuff.
I'm not talking to you. That's the reason
That's
why
my wife stopped eating beef.
Really?
Yeah. And meat, really.
Well, we're going to be starting a yak farm. I don't know if you've had yak meat.
I have
very good.
I don't come across yak that often.
Well, once we get up and running, I'll send you some. You have to try this.
Throw me some yak, man. I'm down.
It's leaner than boneless chicken breast.
Well, I've worked with moose. Is it like moose?
Moose is kind of gamey, though, isn't it?
It is. It's extremely gamey. You taste this.
And it was very hard to wrestle it down.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, once you yak, you'll never go
Wait a
back.
second. Hold on. Chrissy, I got to ask you a question. So I'm not I know to PETA people, I'm just asking a question.
He had to open his big mouth.
Is kangaroo...
He's got to talk.
Do people eat kangaroo in Australia?
Yes.
They do?
Yeah, but they die of natural causes. They don't kill them.
It's very hard as they're bouncing to get a good bite, though.
No, they only use aged kangaroo.
Is it? Do people really eat kangaroo?
Yes.
What does it taste like? Is it gamey?
I've actually not had it. I made it my mission to have it before I moved over here, and then I got distracted and it went bad in the refrigerator, so I never tried it.
Really?
It is super. It's almost purple. You see it in the stores. Like it's really, really dark. So someone told me, is venison like that over
Yes,
here?
it is.
Very
it
dark
is.
green?
Yes, it is.
So-
You get a venison heart, looks just like it.
Right. So it's not. It's not as big as obviously lamb, chicken, and everything like that. It's a very small section, but you can buy it at our grocery stores. They have it in burgers. They have it in steaks.
There you go, Joe.
A lot of the gym people, because it's very high in like iron and
That
Forget
makes sense.
kangaroo.
Aren't there like little kangaroo farms where they like
I don't
breed
know.
them? I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we just
boxing.
we just went out like you would hunting deer, and we go and you just
Hunt the kangaroo.
Yep.
What did you hunt them with?
Boxing gloves.
Boomerang.
A boomerang.
Stop.
That.
Boomerang.
Oh yeah, you should see. We'll go outside later. I'll show you my.
Are you a
skills.
boomerang person?
Absolutely.
Are
you really?
It's like,
No, I'm not.
What about
Tom, run, you know?
Yeah, watch this.
what about a didgeridoo? I mean, do you play that?
Didgeridoo.
There you go.
Yeah, I can make it make sound. Yes, but I can't play it as fluently as the.
So
native.
who was the guy? The guy that had
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee.
Paul Hogan, yeah.
Was that Australia or New Zealand?
Australia.
He's really.
The Hobbits were in New Zealand. That was the Lord of the
But
Rings.
is he from Australia?
Yes.
And does he act?
He's an Aussie.
Does he live there still? Or does he live here?
I believe he's lived here for a very long time. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
love his
that.
accent.
Super
That was a great
Aussie.
show.
The guy was a
They
character.
had the best knives. Speaking of knives,
Right.
you have.
lead.
I know that you even make your own knives. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean that's a fun process too. Seeing how knives are built to me is one of the funnest things we did on the show as well, because you're taking a piece of steel, and all of a sudden it's a utensil in your kitchen, and for me the knife is the most important piece you can have in the kitchen, like
Absolutely.
an 8-inch chef knife. I use that for everything, and making a knife, you really start understanding what the important parts of knife making is, like having a full blade, just like how to sharpen it properly. You just learn a lot from the process, just like everything on the show when we made charcoal from scratch, anything like that. When you learn the process from these artisans that we were working with, you see that so much of food is this beautiful combination of art and science. And that's what knife making is.
Exactly.
Because it is art, but it's also very scientific of what metal you're using, what is malleable, what isn't.
I mean, the knives that you make, the knives for your personal collection, they're, besides making them, they're next to being indestructible, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's solid steel. I mean, they're no joke. They're going to be a generational knife. My son will have my knife.
Wow.
He'll be able to use it.
When I went to work for Market Basket as a meat cutter, I bought my own knives, and I still have them.
Right.
And I got married when I was 20, so I was 21 when I went to work for Market Basket.
So those are, 8, 9 years old now?
Getting older than dirt. But
are they
mentioning what you say.
Are they worth money? I mean, are they expensive? Are they good quality?
They were expensive to buy.
Yeah.
They're expensive to buy. But, I mean, I'm going to be 77. I bought them when I was 21 years old. I used those knives, like for Christmas. I'd have a whole rib roast. And people would get up off the table because we'd have like 24 people, 26 people. The woman wanted thin slice. Some wanted well done. And I would cut from there, and the guys would come up and say, I want 1.25 inches.
Right.
You know, it was
of course.
But with those knives,
it's like a part of you, right?
You know, and there's not many people that know how to put an edge on a good knife. They really don't. You need to have the steel, the whole 9 yards. This thing they show, they got the wheel going around, you shopping. I do it by hand. I mean, I know a professional like you.
Well, you don't have a line that you sell, do you, Joe?
No. We were going to, but you know, for me, that's not why I got into this.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've been like, people want me to do sauces and all that. It's just not my jam.
Yeah,
really.
You know,
really.
it's like I love cooking.
See, I think
I love being in front of
you
people.
would do very well with that. I mean, you have a great reputation.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you mean if he endorsed a knife set?
Either a knife set or some type of a marinade or something. I think.
Oh, you mean other products? We were talking about
like
knives.
Bobby Flay. I mean, that's how Bobby Flay made a ton of money, right?
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's just. It's really just not me.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
like,
interesting.
He's hands-on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
his love is cooking.
The interacting with people and doing stuff like this, I love.
Where'd you get the idea of preparing everything from scratch?
Yeah, that is a very
it just
good
kept
question.
Growing. When I first
I mean, the whole
started
concept.
cooking,
It's a whole concept.
Yeah, I first started cooking, and I would do a recipe, and say it really started with this one recipe called Conchinita Pibil, which is
Say it again?
Conchinita Pibil. It's my favorite Mexican dish in the world, which I just learned from a master. It's a whole nother story, but it's literally means buried pig, and so it's a Mexican version of pulled pork. Is the most simplistic way I can say, and it's a
did they
shoulder.
bury it in the sand?
Yeah, they bury it in the dirt, and then with rocks, just like a clam bake.
In Hawaii, the best pork I ever ate, man.
Just like that.
Thing cooked. You'd be in the water, and all you could smell was this roast pork.
Buried
and you
under
knew
wrapped.
it was going to be an awesome, awesome dinner.
Exactly. And that's how it started. It was just like this recipe said, oh, it's kind of like this. You can do something like this. And I was like, well, why don't I do that? Why don't I bury things? Why don't I get banana leaves from somewhere and wrap? And then it was like the next dish, it would call for sriracha. And I'm like, well, how do you make sriracha? So I would figure it out. And I'd make sriracha from scratch.
Without
and then all of a
making it
sudden,
too hot.
it just became everything built. And then Carrie, my wife, said when we were getting ready, she said, I think you should do a TV show. And I had a film background, so I called some people, and I said, I'm not really sure, what I would say. And she's, you make everything from scratch. She's like, that is such a cool angle.
Absolutely.
So we just kind of wrapped the show around that, and then now I've just painted myself in a corner.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Everything takes forever.
At length over the next commercial break. I know you want to talk about a few things regarding Thanksgiving, but
Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
I want to.
He thinks he works hard. I'm going to tell you a story that'll knock your socks off.
I can't wait. Thanksgiving is like the Super Bowl for chefs.
I want to talk about the
Super
TV show
Bowl for
because
chefs.
your TV show has really, really taken off.
Yeah,
you're doing very, very well with it. It's cool. I've watched a couple of episodes.
And why don't you tell our listeners which stations you're on?
Sure, you can find my show, Joe Gatto's From Scratch, on Pluto TV.
Okay.
Which you can get right from my Instagram at Chef Joe Gatto as well. And we've actually just been picked up by Amazon. We got picked up by Roku. Yeah, so we're going to be premiering on those in a couple months. So yeah, that all just came through. We just keep getting picked up. We were #1 in the food slot for like a year on Pluto. We just blew everybody
Where do you
away.
film, Joe?
We filmed this one all around New England. My kitchen studio is in Lexington. So we filmed up and down New England for this one. Season 2, which we're just writing now, is going to be across the U.S. We're going to make olive oil from scratch. We're going to take beeswax and make gum.
So you're going to be doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah, we're going to be doing more traveling because the kids are such good travelers, and I really want them to experience more and different cultures. And that was one of the big reasons we wanted to buy a house in Mexico, so they could see different cultures. It's important for them to experience that and learn that everything's not like here.
Do you mind me asking your nationality?
Oh yeah, that really offends me. No, I'm Italian and Irish, like every kid in Massachusetts.
But the Mexican seems to be the spin. The Mexican, you seem to be.
I'm drawn to those
right, Tom?
flavors.
He seems to be top heavy toward the Mexican. You love it too?
Big time. It's my favorite.
See?
He's talking my language. And I come from Australia, so what I call Mexican food probably doesn't even class as Mexican food.
David,
But
how about
I'm
you?
learning while I'm here. It's, oh my God.
My last name is Martinez.
Yeah,
Good point.
So, mic drop right there.
End the conversation.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. Joe Gatto is in the house. We got a couple of more things to chat about. Mikey wants to talk about Thanksgiving.
Can't wait.
And how to kill a turkey properly.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I'm down.
Yeah, Mike.
Gotta sneak up.
I can do that.
Mike
That's right,
runs,
and kangaroos.
Mike runs him over with his car. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club. So, Mikey, we get Thanksgiving coming up next Thursday. I'm having turkey croquets. That's what I'm making.
Really?
Yeah, pretty good, huh?
Nice.
You're going all out.
No, actually, we're going to my son's house.
Are you really?
He's doing, usually he cooks a turkey and he smokes a turkey. This year he's cooking a turkey and he's frying a turkey.
Ah,
So
the potential
Frying,
disaster.
you got to be very careful with, man. I'll tell you. They can start more fires.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know where or how
Very
he's doing
dangerous.
it.
Do it in the driveway, in the middle
Yeah, I
of
think
the driveway.
he is doing it outside.
You
Don't
sure?
do
You
it
have
on your
to.
back porch.
He's doing it outside.
No, we were talking, and I respect the amount of work you put into the preparation of the food that you bring.
Thank you.
I mean, I hope someday I can afford to have you come to my house. Like,
Because we know Tom's not inviting you.
Tommy's a sport.
Wait. You want to go down that road? Do you want to go down that road?
Did you ask me to come when you had a private chef at your house? I would have dressed
Joe,
up.
let me
I'm not going to
just-
embarrass you.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Joe to be my mediary here. Joe, would you ask Mike? Say, Mike, hey, where you been the last couple of days?
Mike, Tom would like to know where you've been the past couple days.
I was in the Boston metro area.
And were you in a casino?
He was in the Boston metro area.
Ask him if he was in a casino.
You wouldn't have been in a casino by chance, would you?
As a matter of fact, Joe, to be honest with you, yes.
Honestly, he was.
And just one last question. Ask him if how much of a tax, how much in taxes he had to give back to the government because of his winnings over the last 2 days.
Tom would like to know the tax implications of your winnings.
It's none of his business.
He said he would rather not share that.
Okay.
Well, getting back to what I started off by saying.
20,000. Excuse me?
The amount
I was just scratching. 20,000. What?
The amount of work that goes into it.
14 after taxes. What?
How would you like to have 143 people show up for Thanksgiving?
I would not like that.
You have no oven.
Well, now I would like it because now it sounds like a challenge.
No microwave. You have no wheat. You have.
You're talking about the first Thanksgiving.
No butter. Yes, I am.
Who gives a crap? They're dead. They're all dead.
1621. 4 women. 4 women. That's what was left after the first winter. 14 of them died, Chrissy, during the winter. 4 women prepared that meal for 3 days.
What did they eat? What was the main course?
Well, the Indians that
they had
came,
takeout.
there was 90 Indians that showed up. And
Oh,
Squanto invited them.
Right.
I
I
remember
understand.
our
Yeah, I
friends
do.
Were they all like, oh, Squanto, man, you invited everybody? Come on,
No,
man.
they brought 5 deer.
Okay.
And they processed them. But this Thanksgiving feast, and they did have turkey. They did have
So they
turkey.
had deer, they had turkey. What do they have for apps? Let's cut to the chase. What
They
were the
had
apps?
charcuterie boards, I'm pretty sure.
They had the supersada.
Right.
Parma prosciutto.
A couple martinis.
And the mortadella, Tommy,
Phenomenal.
with the almonds.
Oh, are you kidding me? Well, wait a second. They were in down Plymouth, right?
Yeah.
They must have had cranberries.
I don't think they knew what cranberries really were. They used to say, what are these freaking red things over
So
here?
they were making Cosmos.
But
Right?
can you picture 4 women, 4, cooking for 3 days, serving
First
all
of all,
these men?
I'm crying shenanigans
Why?
here. Because where did you get this off the internet? You don't even know that this is
Squanto.
true.
No, I got it from Squanto's diary.
Squanto's diary, did you?
Yeah.
Squanto, the
He
Indian
took
guy?
great notes. Yeah.
Great notes.
Yeah.
He did.
Squanto.
Yeah. You go to Smithsonian Institute, you'll see it.
You got it on eBay.
But they had very few spices, no butter, like I said, no wheat. I mean, think about.
Yeah, they
Now,
were
this
eating
is
lean.
something for you. I mean, this is something you can get your hands into.
I mean, I would do that in a heartbeat. I've
Kill
done
a deer.
challenges like that.
Kill a deer.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do to it. Put it through a food processor, whatever you do with it. Do the same thing with the turkey. What were the sides? You still haven't said what the sides are.
They had fish.
That was a side?
They had fish.
Squash.
That was the app.
They did. They had squash.
Fish
they didn't have potatoes.
How about corn?
They had corn. You know, corn is one of the oldest plants available to mankind.
Did they? Now, let me ask you
and
this
it was
question.
the Indians
Did they
that
steam
bred
it?
it to make the kernels the way we see corn now.
Did they steam the corn?
I wasn't there. I can't answer that question.
Yeah,
My
I
guess
mean-
is
Probably not. They probably cooked
probably
it
did
in
it
the
right
husk.
over the fire.
In the husk, with the husk in.
with the husk in it.
I mean, back then it was probably. I mean, it probably wasn't even Whole Foods.
Can
it was
you
probably
smoke?
bread and
Can you
circus
smoke
back
the
then.
husk?
You can, if you get it and you dry it out for 14 days.
Can you
Don't dry it out more than 14.
Can you catch a little Thanksgiving buzz if you smoke the husk?
If you put a little bit of hot pepper in it, you sprinkle
That'll do
hot
it.
pepper,
That'll
then
do
you
it.
roll, and that puts it over the top. Now, picture.
That'll do it.
Squanto in the corner. This is such a good time, guys. Oh man, that squash was outrageous.
Wow! Picture 53
Can you throw some
pilgrims.
sugar now on the squash? I'm really get the
I
munchies.
want you to take this visual. 53 pilgrims.
How do you say help?
90 Indians.
Oh, boy.
Okay, and not one fork. Not one fork.
Oh, fork.
They had knives. They had
So how do they put the food in their mouth?
hands.
Oh, that's
You know,
filthy.
how many napinas do you think they needed? That's because the fork didn't come to this country until 12 years later.
Really?
To America.
So they use a knife.
They had a knife and they had a spoon. They had no forks. No
Well,
forks
I think you
whatsoever.
can. I think you can make that work,
Yeah,
right?
True
You
story.
can make that work.
Yeah.
That's pretty
But
interesting.
I mean, your hands. You go.
Hey.
It's like you talk about doing a roasted pig in the sand.
Yeah.
I mean, they're grabbing it. They're pulling it apart. I had a Greek neighbor, And I'm working in the yard. I'm all sweaty. I'm hot. And it's Greek Easter because it ran different. Comes over. He says, I need you. I need you. I says, what's wrong, Angelo? He says, I need you to come over to the house. He says, my cousin couldn't make it. He was the cutter that would process the pig because they used to put the lamb, rather. They'd put the whole lamb on the grill. I said, well, let me go change and clean up. No, you come with me now. You come with me
So you had
now.
to do the carving.
So I went over there, and I got
shirt off.
I got my knives. He had an apron. Oh, yeah. He had a flex.
I see it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm there.
That's how the story
But they were
started.
reaching. They were
No
reaching
shirt.
out.
I need you.
And
I
they
need
were
you.
just grabbing the insides of the slam. And I'm trying to cut it, and oh Christ.
Joey, do you do? Is there something special for Thanksgiving?
This year, I'm off. My
Are you really?
mother-in-law is cooking this year.
Wow.
I'll do some sides, but yeah, I'm off this year.
Boy, I'd hate to have to cook for you.
I know you.
That would be
It's got to
intimidating.
be really
Honestly,
That would be
intimidating.
Over the
be-
years, it's become a thing.
It's got to be.
Well,
I mean, do
it's
you
been a long-
kind of bite your tongue?
Oh yeah. I mean, no, never. No.
I mean, so
I just enjoy when people cook for me.
I mean, so
I'm not judging.
So if I cook something for you, I say, Joe, come over to the house, you and your wife, and I make some baked macaroni. You won't be critical?
No, I would eat that and I would enjoy it and I would be judging in my mind.
Okay, I can accept that.
Fair enough, right?
I can certainly accept that.
Right?
Absolutely. I do want to give one shout out.
Yeah.
To Fratelli's, because I've chastised them on this show.
You eviscerated them.
I speak the truth. I don't care if it's a sponsor. I speak
ripped
the
them.
truth.
It's a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I'm a person that eats with my eyes. Number one, I want a room that
keep you
speaks
skinny.
He
volume.
ripped a restaurant at the Encore like you would not believe not too long ago.
I didn't rip it.
You
I gave
ripped
it
them.
my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion.
All right, go ahead.
I went back this week. As you know, I was in the Boston metro area.
20,000. Excuse me?
I was in the Boston metro
14
area.
after taxes.
14 and change. Yeah, come on.
Okay, so
Sorry, Joe.
No, I understand. I'm in the middle of it.
anyway, we went to Fratelli's, but we went early, and it was on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
So the room, I hate the room because it's so noisy. You can't even talk, Joey. I can't
don't like
stand
that.
I can't stand
Yeah, I don't either.
And the room
I
is
honestly
long
don't.
and skinny, which works against it.
Right.
There's nothing there to deaden the noise.
What did you order?
I went with their, they have an express menu from 4 to 6. It's $49, $49.99, I think, or something like that. But you get the charcuterie board. You get a pasta. I had the pasta with the orange.
I don't care what you get. How was the food?
Outstanding.
It really
but
was?
the service, Emmett, the service we had, he was freaking unbelievable. Now, when they first opened up the Encore in 2019, I had him as a waiter, I believe, at Rare. Because he looked so familiar to me. I knew him. But this guy was right on top of it without being a pain in the ass. You know, I like that. Every time he walked by, even when he was waiting on other table, he'd always look to see if
But
something.
you know something? I mean,
but he did a great job.
You're raving about the waiter. You haven't
And I'm
said much
raving-
about the food.
the food was outstanding.
I've never been to Encore, so I
For,
don't know.
for $49.99, you get an app, you get a pasta. I had the short rib.
Oh, I love short ribs.
Short, and it fell off the bone.
Braised short ribs, yeah.
On a bed of polenta.
Oh, wow. That sounds good.
Oh, and then tiramisu, as you know, means pick me up. And boy, I had that with a cup of
All right,
coffee.
so what's your on a scale
I
of
gave
1 to
it-
10?
This is a 9+.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the last time you gave it a 3.
I didn't even give it that.
Right.
Because I was disappointed. The meal, they could have served me the best sirloin in the world. I would have knocked it because it's everything. It's the package. I don't go out to eat just to stuff my stomach.
No, I understand. I
go
understand.
out to eat because I want to have an enjoyable time. I want to listen to Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin on the loudspeaker. I don't want to hear the music they're playing at Encore. I agree.
I agree with you. I agree
so
with you.
this experience was much better than what I've ever had before.
Oh, so it was like club music or something last night? Like
They played the Sinatras. The Dean Martin. You're in an
Okay.
Italian restaurant. Let's have the music that goes along with it.
absolutely.
I have a quick question for Joey. I know that you have a wonderful pizza recipe in here. And you make all your pizza from scratch, obviously.
Of course.
Question is, my kids bought me, for my birthday, an Uni pizza oven.
Oh, the little guys?
They are, I tell you, Joe.
Those things are awesome.
I mean, it's 1,000 degrees it gets up.
Those things are awesome.
Does it really?
Gets up to 1,000
What's the
degrees.
name again?
Uni. Woonni. It's from Italy. They're made in Italy. I think Italy, Europe somewhere. But I tell you, they bought it for me. I was blown away. And we used
use pellets?
Use wood pellets. It gets up to 1,000 degrees.
Wow.
And we had like a couple of pizza parties with the kids. And we were all making a pizza from scratch with the dough, made the dough and everything. And the pizza was absolutely spectacular. And you put the pizza in for 30 seconds, open it up, turn it, another 30 seconds, and it's done.
How would you make a quick pizza sauce for something like he's talking
That's
about?
super easy because you don't cook pizza sauce. So
I know, you pour it, but how
you
would
just
you
take
blend
it out of the can, add some salt and some herbs, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, you never cook pizza sauce.
We use, I know,
and
when we make pizza, I never make my sauce with the pizza. We buy it, but we use the Rayo.
Yeah, Rayo's is outstanding. What a great restaurant.
We use the Rayo.
Talk about restaurants?
Yeah, I'm talking about the sauce.
I understand. They make a sauce now. You know who?
Fantastic.
You know who does all their commercials?
Who?
Our friend Michael Amante.
Oh, does he really? I tell you, what a great sauce. For jarred sauce, Rayo sauce, great. I recommend it to anyone.
The only thing is, it's expensive. They get
it's very.
It's so easy to make pizza sauce because there's no cooking involved.
Well, you know what I do?
About regular.
I'm talking about like this was a spur of the moment. Typically, I'll make my sauce. I'll make a sauce beforehand and then use it. That's what we typically do. But this was really
the
really
uni's
good.
great because what you're looking for when you're sliding a pizza in is you want that leoparding on the bottom.
Exactly.
Right? So,
I know we're winding up real quick. Rayo's at the restaurant that the father and mother opened up in Brooklyn, right? There's only 12 tables. You can't get in there. It's booked for the year.
No,
but they have Christmas lights. The mother put up Christmas lights near the register, and there's the picture, statue of the Blessed Virgin. Every restaurant they've opened has the same thing. They're in Vegas. They have the Christmas lights all year long.
That's
beautiful.
adorable.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's in Brooklyn?
Rayo's is in Brooklyn.
Joe, your website.
JoeGattosFromScratch.com. Everything goes from Instagram
And
at Chef
how can
Joe
they? How
Gatto.
can they? If they want to buy a copy of the book,
Amazon, or go to my website. And we'll
the book is called Seriously from Scratch, Chef Joe Gatto, and the TV show is on Roku. What else?
It'll be Roku and Amazon in like 2 months, and right now it's on Pluto TV. Again, you just go to @Chef Joe Gatto on Instagram. You can see all the cool food I do, who I cook for, these big events we do.
You know what we're going to do? I wanted to talk a little collectibles. I know you're a big collectibles guy. Next time we're going to get you in on my show with Rico, and we're going to do collectibles.
I'd love to see Rico. That would be awesome.
All right.
This was awesome.
Thank
guys,
you, man.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are the best. This is always so much
Chrissy,
fun.
great job. David, great job. To our viewers and listeners, please spread the word. YouTube, join our YouTube site. Listen to us. We want to expand. We want to expand because we got some great stuff coming down the road.
No question.
With that being said, remember, if you can't make fun of yourself, please don't make fun of anyone. And Mikey?
And the word America, Joey, it's a beautiful Italian word. Have a good weekend, everybody.
America.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Take care.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.